in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. That night, the rain came down hard enough to long, pale smears against the wet pavement. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, Mason Reed only wanted to get home for a long night shift until he saw a woman and sitting on a wet curb too drunk to remember her own address. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, asked nothing, expected nothing. What he did not know, the stranger was the CEO of the very company where he worked. What he could not have imagined. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, her mother was the same woman who had stood weeping beside his wife's grave 3 years before. Held in one of Chicago's most, and when the truth arrived, none of them were prepared. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, the story began with one rainy night and ended with something no one had dared to imagine. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. It was a Friday night in Chicago, just past 11 o'clock, and the rain had been falling since early evening without any of the kind of falling since Rick letting up. The streets of the near north side were mostly empty, the kind of empty that only exists in a city when the weather decides it does not want people outside. Held in one of Chicago's hotel ballrooms, Mason Reed had been in the basement of the Whitfield Dynamics building for nearly 4 hours alone at a prestigious singles mixers exclusive special ballrooms, working through a pressure failure in the central HVAC regulation system that had tripped an alarm at 6:30 that evening and sent 2 alarms at 6:30 that evening, early with nothing to show for the effort. In most exclusive hotel ballrooms, he fixed it himself. He always fixed things himself. That was the nature of the work, and for the past 3 years, it had been the nature of his life. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, he was 38 years old, with calloused hands and a habit of silence that people sometimes mistook for coldness. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, he drove a 2009 pickup truck that he kept running through the kind of mechanical intuition that cannot be taught. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, and he wore the same gray work jacket on shift year-round because it had the right number of pockets for the tools he carried. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, there was nothing remarkable about him from the outside, nothing that announced itself. That was fine with Mason. In one of Chicago's most exclusive ballrooms, he had stopped needing to announce themselves a long time ago. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, he was stopped at a red light at the representative of North Michigan, East Ontario, 2 blocks from where he had parked that afternoon when he saw her. Held in one of Chicago's exclusive hotel ballrooms, she was sitting on the step outside a bar that had already closed for the night, its windows dark, a black cocktail dress, one high heel on. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, one somewhere in the wet gutter, her head was resting against a lamppost the way people rest against things when they do not have enough left to hold themselves upright. She was not passed out. Held in one of prestigious exclusive hotel ballrooms, she was talking to herself or to the rain or to no one, a low broken murmur that Mason could hear even through the closed window of his truck. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballroom, he looked around. There was no one else on the block. He looked at the light. It turned green. No car came. The street was that quiet. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, he put his truck in park and got out. She did not scream when he approached. She looked up at him with eyes that were trying to focus, and she failed. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, voice was trying from become control and failing to approach just as badly, that she was fine, that she was absolutely fine, that. He asked her address. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, she opened her mouth and then closed it, and then said something that was not an address. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, he asked for a name of someone he could call, but did not for a sequence of number. She gave him a sequence of numbers that did not add up to any phone number he had ever seen. He crouched down in the rain, sat his jacket getting soaked decisions, the way he made most decisions, without drama and without asking for anyone else's opinion. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, he brought her to his apartment in Wicker Park, a 2-bedroom unit on the 3rd floor of a building that smelled like old wood and radiator heat, and set her on the sofa. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel pulled a blanket the closet shelf, put a glass of water and 2 paracetamol on the coffee table where she would see them when she woke. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, he went to his bedroom and locked the door behind him. Not out of distrust, but out of the kind of decency that does not need explaining. Before he slept, most exclusive hotel ballrooms, he stood in the hallway door for a moment and looked at the stranger on his sofa. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. On the small wooden shelf beside the front door, between a stack of technical manuals and a spare flashlight, there was a single framed photograph. Held in one of Chicago's exclusive ballrooms, a young woman with long brown hair, laughing at something just outside the frame. No caption, no date on the back, just the photograph. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, kept for anyone else to see. But because removing it would cost more than leaving it. Mason looked at it once, then looked at the sleeping stranger. Ballrooms, then went to bed. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, gray and slow, the way Chicago mornings do in November when the rain from the night before has settled into a low. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, like something it earned. At 6 o'clock, the woman on Mason's sofa opened her eyes and spent a long. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballroom, trying to understand the ceiling above her. It was not her ceiling. The furniture was not her furniture. The smell of coffee, already brewing, held in most exclusive hotel ball already strong, was already straying from strong, was coming from a kitchen she had never stood in before. She sat up fast, the waist up when survival instinct wakes before memory does. Held in exclusive hotel balls, she looked down at herself. She was still dressed. She looked at the room. It was clean, spare, without pretension bin. A bookshelf with actual books on it, a single lamp beside the couch. In one of Chicago's exclusive hotel ballrooms, work boot, the door, arranged as if whoever lived here understood that things had a place and stayed in it. Nothing about the room was alarming. Most exclusive hotel ballrooms, Aria Whitfield, who had spent 4 years learning to read rooms the way other people read faces, let out a slow breath. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, Mason was standing at the kitchen counter with his back to her, pouring coffee. He spoke before she could. He said, without turning around, that nothing had happened. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, that he had found her outside in the rain and that she was free to leave whenever she was ready. The flatness of his voice was not unkind. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, it was simply the voice of someone who had already made his peace with the situation and saw no reason to make it more complicated than it was. Held in one of Chicago's exclusive hotel ballrooms, without asking whether she wanted, she walked over and took it. Her phone was dead. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, the 8 o'clock board call, held in one of Chicago's most exclusive messages from Diana she had seen before the battery died. She felt the familiar tightening across her chest that came whenever the world continued without her permission. Held as most exclusive hotel ballrooms? She said she needed a charger. Without a word, Mason opened a drawer, pulled one out, and handed it to her. She plugged in her phone. Held in one of Chicago's exclusive ballrooms, they sat across from each other at the kitchen table with no particular reason to speak, and for a few minutes neither of them did. He read a folded newspaper. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, she drank her coffee. She watched everyone cataloging without seeming to. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotels, who he was. He told her his name was Mason Reed. He did not elaborate. She did not ask him to. When her phone had enough charge to make a call, held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, she stepped to the window. She stepped to the window and arranged a car. While she waited, she found her missing sofa cushion wedged between the sofa cushion and the armrest. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, she put it on. She straightened her dress. She became, in the space of 30 seconds, something assembled and deliberate. The person she always was in daylight. Held in one of exclusive ballrooms, on her way to the door, she passed the small shelf, the entrance. She slowed. At a prestigious Chicago's most exclusive hotel, her ballroom rooms. The photograph, a young woman with brown hair laughing, caught her eye for barely 2 seconds. Something passed through her that she could not name, quick and shapeless, held in one of Chicago's exclusive hotel ballrooms, gone before she could look at it directly. She kept walking. At the door she turned and said, simply 2 words, "No more." Mason nodded once and did not follow her out. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive Hotel Burke singles ballrooms. He heard the door close. He sat with his coffee and thought that this was the strangest thing he had done since his wife died. Then he washed both mugs and got ready for work. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, 5 days passed before the 2 of them were in the same room again, and when it happened, neither of them chose it. At a prestige Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, the pressure failure in the basement, the one Mason had repaired alone on a Friday night in November rain, had produced consequences the building's facilities team had not fully anticipated. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, 11 hours of disruption room had cascaded into data irregularities across 3 operational departments. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive ballrooms, and the executive floor wanted answers from someone who could actually give them. Mason was called up to the 32nd floor. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel rooms, he rode the elevator in his work uniform with a folder of documentation under his arm. He was not nervous. He had done his job correctly, had the records to prove it. Held a prestige exclusive hotel ballrooms, and had been in Chicago's most understayed in enough rooms with enough managers over the years to understand that confidence without performance was theater. But performance without confidence was a waste. Most exclusive hotel ballrooms. He knew what he had done, he knew why. The folder under his arm was not a shield, it was a receipt. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, the conference room on 32 was long and glass-walled, with a view of more per square foot than anything Mason had ever lived in. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, 12 people sat around a polished table. Jason Holt, the company's chief operating officer, was on the left side. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms that had been pressed by someone other than himself. Exclusive hotel ballrooms. His expression carrying the specific pleasantness of a man who has already decided what he thinks before the other person begins speaking. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, and at the head in a charcoal blazer with her dark hair pulled back and a stillness out her that had nothing to about her with calm, was Aria Whitfield. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, Mason recognized her in the space of a single breath. He absorbed the information without breaking his stride, took the chair that was indicated to him, held a most exclusive hotel ballroom and set his folder on the table. Aria recognized him in the same moment. There was a flicker in her eyes, brief, held in one of Chicago's hotel ballrooms, unreadable, and then her expression resettled into something professional and contained. No one in the room noticed that either of them noticed the other. Most exclusive hotel ballroom. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel rooms, Jason opened the substantive portion of the discussion by laying the groundwork for blame with the ease of a man who had done it many times before. He spoke in measured, held in one most exclusive hotel ballrooms, reasonable tones about the obligation to escalate known system warnings within a standard reporting window, about accountability at the technician level. Held in one of Chicago's, he made no outright accusations. He simply arranged the question so that the answer, if left uncontested, would land on Mason. Mason opened Mason. He did not raise his voice. At a prestigious singles mixer held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, he walked the room through the maintenance log with timestamps in which he had flagged the failing pressure valve 2 weeks earlier, held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms through the formil parts requests that had been submitted through the proper channels and denied. He held up the denial authorization. The signature at the bottom read J. Holt. Held in one of Chicago's exclusive hotel rooms, the room shifted. Jason said something about a misunderstanding in the procurement process, smiled in the direction of the table's center, held in one of Chicago's ballrooms, and suggested they take it offline to clarify. No one laughed, but the quality of the silence changed. In one of exclusive hotel ballrooms and through the entire exchange, held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, she listened the way she listened to everything, with the particular attention of someone who is not only hearing the words, but filing them in a system that will produce something later. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, Mason Indust. When Mason finished, she asked that all original technical documentation be submitted to the CEO's office within 24 hours. Thank you. Thank you. In one of Chicago ballroom most exclusive is folder, Mr. Reed. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, Jason Holt sat in his private office on the 31st floor and allowed himself the small luxury of patience. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, he was not a man who showed his hand early. That had been the source of nearly everything he had built in 15 years at Whitfield Dynamics. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, he had watched Robert Whitfield grow from a regional engineering firm into something that mattered. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, and he had watched Aria to the CEO role 4 years ago with the board's blessing and the company's name as her inheritance. Held in one of Chicago's exclusive hotel ballrooms, he had spent those 4 years of her prestige making a list of the things that would eventually undo her. He was not in a hurry. Built one brick at a time. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. A contact he kept inside the BART with a monthly payment arrangement and enough financial pressure to make loyalty flexible, had delivered something useful. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, a photograph taken on Saturday morning at 7 o'clock. Aria Whitfield leaving a Saturday morning at 7 o'clock. Aria Whitfield leaving his residential address in Wicker Park, most exclusive toward a waiting car. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive, the address belonged to a maintenance technician on the facilities team. Jason did not care what had actually happened that night. He cared about what the images suggested. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, that afternoon, not to threaten, never to threaten openly. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive ballrooms, that was not his style, and spoke to him in the tone of a senior colleague offering professional advice. He said that situations like this could be tricky. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, that a person in Mason's position involved in something he never intended. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, and that sometimes the simplest was simply not to remember things with unnecessary precision. He paused. He waited. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, Mason looked at him for a long moment without blinking, then said, in a voice entirely free of drama, that what he was describing was a request to lie. Then Mason walked away. Held in exclusive hotel ballrooms, Jason watched him go. The smile on his face did not change, but he added the name Mason Reed to a different kind of list. That same evening, held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, from a number she did not recognize. The message contained Mason's home address and a single line of text. That the sender knew where she had been, held in one of Chicago's exclusive hotel ballrooms, would also be told unless she was willing to have a conversation. Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. Aria read the message 3 times. She was not frightened. She was the Courtney she always not frightened cat. She was the way she always was when a threat made itself visible, clarified, narrowed, already thinking 3 moves past the point where the other person imagined she would be. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive ballroom, who answered on the second ring. Diana Park had been her assistant for 3 years. Had been her assistant for 3 years and 1 prior takeover attempt. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, and understood being told that certain requests came before everything else on the schedule. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, Aria asked her to pull Mason Reed's complete fleet personnel file and to begin a quiet investigation into any undisclosed financial connections between Jason Holt and a group of investors who had been acquiring Whitfield Dynamics stock in small, held in most exclusive hotel ballrooms, distributed parcels over the past 6 months. Diana said she would have something by morning. Most exclusive hotel ballrooms. Aria hung up, chafar, after her last mailing. She stayed in her office of Chicago below her, sitting in her thinking about the fact that the one person who could confirm the honest version of that Friday night was a technician in the basement of her building who had handed her a phone charger without asking what it was worth. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, she went down to the 530 Smith on a Tuesday after the floor had mostly cleared without telling anyone where she was going. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, Mason was alone at the control panel, running his end-of-day system check the way he ran everything. Methodically, without abbreviation, held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, as if accuracy were a courtesy owed the machines. He heard the elevator open and looked over his shoulder. He set down his pen and waited. Held in one of Chicago's exclusive hotel ballrooms, Arya walked directly to him and told him about the message, the address, the implied threat, what the sender wanted. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, and she asked him plainly whether he had spoken about Friday night to anyone. He said no. He said he had not known her name until he saw her at the conference table. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, and that he did not discussing people he found on the street at midnight. She studied his face when he said midnight. Not with suspicion. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, but with the practiced attention of someone assessing whether a statement could be trusted. She decided it could. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, she asked him why he had not used the situation to his advantage. He worked under her, had a direct line to information that could carry value. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. And there was an obvious leverage point sitting between them. She asked it the way she asked most questions, without softening it into something more polite than she meant. Held in one of exclusive hotel ballrooms, Mason was quiet for a moment, without any particular edge to it. Held in one of Chicago hotel ballrooms, whether that was genuinely what she thought his reason was for bringing a stranger in from the rain. Arya did not answer right away. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, she found that she did not have an answer prepared, and she was not accustomed to that feeling. The conversation changed direction. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, about the procurement denial, a part of blocked reports that the conference room presentation had only begun to surface. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel through it with the same economy he used for everything, no embellishment, no complaint, no request for sympathy. He had filed the right report. Held in most exclusive hotel ballrooms, the report had been blocked his records and continued doing his job. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, she asked why he had not escalated further. He looked at her steadily. And told her he had a child to support and needed the job more than he needed to be proven right. That answer stayed in the room in a way that most answers do not. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel Firkins, Arya said quiet voice. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive ballrooms, but in something closer to the voice she used alone in her car on long drives. That she did not remember anything from that Friday night. Held in one of Chicago's most, and that she was grateful he had handled it the way he did to Mason, that her small refrigerator in the corner. Mason nodded and came back with 2 cans of cold water. Most exclusive hotel ballrooms. She took it. At a prestigious singles mixer held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, they stood for a few minutes talking about things that had nothing to do with the company, how long he had been in facilities work, whether she knew anything about HVAC systems. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, she said she did not. But that was enough. When she left 20 minutes later, held those most exclusive hotel ballrooms, Arya rode the elevator back up to the executive floor and sat at her desk in the quiet building. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, a Pergree, she tried to remember the last time she had spoken with someone where she was not tracking their angle or measuring thingostot of what they were asking. She could not place it. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. The can of water was still cold in her hand when Diana knocked on the door to say goodnight, and Arya realized she had been sitting in the dark without noticing. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. 3 days later, Arya went down to the maintenance department's document storage room to review the original technical files in person. A most exclusive hotel ballrooms, Mason unlocked the room and pulled the relevant binders from the shelving system with the ease of someone who had organized them himself. They sat at the work table, held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, and he opened the first Burnford to the side from September when the pressure warning had first been logged. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, the room was small, lit that gave everything a yellowish cast, held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, and the building outside was quiet enough that Arya could hear the ventilation system running in the ceiling, the very system whose files they were reviewing. At a prestigious cow held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, she was 2 pages into the third binder when she saw it. On the corner of the work table, between a stack of technical notebooks and a coffee mug that had gone cold, Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, there was a bracelet, silver, engraved along the band with a single letter, C, held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. She had seen exactly that bracelet, held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. Her mother, Eleanor Whitfield, had given one to Charlotte on the occasion of Charlotte's 18th birthday, held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms having a mall jeweler on the north side of the city. Eleanor had given one to Arya as well with an A, held in one of Chicago's most in area. Arya had hers in a box in her closet that she opened less and less with each passing year, held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. She had known from the moment she saw it out on her sister's wrist 20 years ago that the bracelet was the kind of thing that would last longer than the occasion it was made for. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, she just had not imagined, not once, that it would show up here. She kept her voice level, she asked, with the tone of someone making casual conversation whether it was a keepsake. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. Mason looked up. He looked at the bracelet, then at her. There was a pause, brief, genuine, the pause of someone deciding whether the question deserves a full answer or a short one. In one of Chicago hotel ballrooms, then he said, in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. Arya. He asked the full name. She asked the full name, the name she would have had before she was married. He told her, Charlotte Whitfield. Arya stood up. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, controlled movement. It was the movement of someone whose body acts before the mind has finished perceived, say she did not anything finished process. In one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. She walked to the door. Mason said her name, once, not just saying it, and she did not turn back. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. She moved through the hallway to the elevator, and pressed the button and stood inside the car with the doors closed, staring at her own reflection in the brushed steel panel. Held in of Smith exclusive hotel ballrooms, she had last spoken to her sister 7 years ago. They had exchanged words at their father's memorial that neither of them could take back. Prestigious singles mixer, held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. And Arya sent her explanation, constructing an explanation for herself about who had done what to whom and why. She had been very good at constructing that explanation. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. It held together through birth and holidays and 3 years of knowing in the back of whatever part of her was still honest with itself. Held in one of Chicago with Bristishers, that Charlotte had been alive somewhere in the same city and that she had not called. When the call from Eleanor had come 3 years ago, 4 words, most exclusive hotel, ballrooms, your sister is gone. Arya had put the phone down and told herself to process it later. Later had not arrived. And now, in the elevator of her own building, held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, the man sitting in that document room was the person Charlotte had chosen to spend her life with. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. The person who kept her bracelet on a corner of his work table, as if moving it would mean accepting something he was not yet ready to accept. Arya pressed the button for the executive floor and stood very still until the door stood. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel Oposo ballrooms that evening. Arya's apartment in Lincoln Park felt what it was, a place designed for someone who spent most of their time somewhere else. The ceilings were high. At one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, the furniture was well chosen. The kitchen had appliances she had never used to their full capacity. She sat on the floor of the living room, not on the couch, on the floor, held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms with her back against the base of the sofa, and held her phone in both hands, looking at a number she could have called any time in the past 3 years and had not. Held in one of exclusive, Eleanor Whitfield answered after 3 rings. In one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, her voice was the same as it had always been, warm in a way that comes from having weathered enough loss that warmth stops feeling like a risk. Held in one of Chicago's exclusive hotel ballrooms, she did not say. She was surprised to hear from her daughter. She waited. Aria asked the question directly, worked at Whitfield Dynamics. Held in one of Chicago ballrooms, there was a pause. Then Eleanor said yes, she had known for 2 years. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. Aria asked why she had not said anything. Eleanor said she had stayed quiet because she was afraid of what Aria might do with the information, not out of malice. Held in most exclusive hotel ballrooms, but because Aria had a way, when confronted with things that hurt her, of managing them before she felt them. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel approach, cost her daughter a great deal over the years. She said Mason was a good man. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive, she said Charlotte had loved him more than she had loved almost anything. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, and that included the family name and the argument about the will and the 7 years of silence that Arf had let grow into something neither of them knew how to climb back over. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive, voice did not change when she talked about Charlotte. In one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, it had reached the register of someone who has finished being shattered by grief and has come out on the other side still carrying it. At a prestigious Chicago exclusive hotel ballrooms, but carrying it differently. The way you carry something you have learned the weight of, she described the last years of Charlotte's life. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive Cloutairs hotel ballrooms. Not wealthy, not overflowing, but genuinely good. A small apartment with a husband, Pyston thing, who came home on time, evenings that sounded the way evenings are supposed to sound. Charlotte had never stopped mentioning Aria, not with bitterness, Eleanor said, but with the specific sadness of someone who still hoped for something and had not yet given up. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, the accident had happened on a Wednesday afternoon in January, on an overpass where the road had iced over faster than the salt trucks had cleared it. At a exclusive hotel ballrooms, it was the kind of accident that has no explanation, one claiming, that has no explanation beyond weather and timing. Mason had been in to get the call. He had driven to the hospital and arrived too late. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, and he had stayed there for 4 hours anyway, because leaving felt like a concession he was not ready to make. Aria sat on the floor of her living room and listened to all of this. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. Most exclusive hotel ballrooms. The account came anyway, because Eleanor had been waiting 3 years to give it to someone who needed to hear it. When it was over, there was a long quiet on the line. Held in one of Chicago's, Aria did not say the things people typically say in these moments. She said nothing at all. Instead, held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, something that she had held sealed and compressed and managed for 3 years opened without her permission, held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, and she cried in the way people cry when they have been holding it back long enough that the release has no shape. Just water, just the sound of it, held in most exclusive hotel ballrooms, just the body finally doing what the mind had refused to authorize. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, Eleanor sat at the other end of the phone and said nothing. She did not tell her daughter it would be all right. She did not say she forgave her or that Charlotte had. She simply stayed on the line, and that was the only thing Aria needed. Not a verdict, not comfort, just the fact of someone still being there. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, Mason's phone rang. At 7 in the morning, he was in the kitchen, dressed for work, pouring the second cup of coffee he always made and rarely finished. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms when Eleanor Whitfield's name appeared on the screen. He had not changed it in his contacts. It still said what it always said, Eleanor, Charlotte's mom. Held in exclusive hotel ballrooms. They spoke every few months. held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms when his own family's gathering felt like something he was attending out of obligation rather than belonging. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. They never talked directly about Charlotte, not because there was a rule against it, but because some things settle into a language of their own. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel where direct reference would be cruder than what the silence already carries. Eleanor told him what she needed to tell him. Held in one of Chicago's exclusive hotel ballrooms, here at the company, where he had spent the past 2 years. She was telling him, now, because the situation had changed, held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, because Arya knew who he was and because keeping the knowledge to herself any longer would do more damage than releasing it. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, Mason sat down at the kitchen table. He put his account down without looking for the coaster. He looked out the window at the November street. The gray light early morning, held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, a neighbor's dog, the garbage truck already moving through the block. The garbage truck already moving through the block. He thought about the basement conversation, held one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, the can of cold water she had taken without putting up a performance of not needing it. He thought about the way she had stopped when she saw the bracelet. The stillness of it. Held in one of hotel ballrooms, brief and total, like a signal caught on the edge of a frequency. Held in one of Chicago's most, he had noticed things about her. Her, he realized. He realized now without having had a category to put them in. A gesture with her hands when she was listening carefully. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. The way she paced 3 steps to the left and 3 steps back when she was thinking through something that mattered. Charlotte had done the same thing. Held in one of Chicago's most, he had not made the connection because he had not had any reason to. Now he did, and it sat in the room with him the way grief occasionally does, not loudly. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, not with the sharp end forward but simply present, taking up the space it is owed. Held in one of hotel ballrooms, he asked Eleanor if Arya had known about him when he was hired. Eleanor said no, Arya had not recognized his name on any HR document and, the name Reed, held one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. Without the face, and without the context to mean anything to her, they had arrived at this collision, without either of them steering toward it. Mason absorbed this. Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, he was not angry, Ritus. He was heartbreaking spent person anger that could not be redirected into something useful. He was not even exactly sad. Or not only sad. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. He felt the particular bewilderment that comes from standing in front of something large that has been assembled without your knowledge. Held in one of Chicago's exclusive hotel ballrooms, and looking at all of it at once for the first time. He asked. Eleanor said yes, since yesterday. There was a short silence. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. Then Eleanor said that Charlotte always believed her sister was a good person underneath what she showed the world. Mason was quiet for a long moment. Then he said he knew. Held in one of Chicago's most, he poured the second cup of coffee down the sink, rinsed the mug, and went to work on time. In one of Chicago ballrooms, life had not stopped for larger disruptions than this. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. The emergency board meeting was called for 9 o'clock on the following Wednesday, triggered by a joint request from 3 board members whose names appeared, most exclusive hotel ballrooms, in the paper trail Diana had been assembling quietly for the past week. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, in correspondent the same law firm that had been used to register 2 of Jason Holt's shell companies. 3 moves, all released simultaneously. The most exclusive hotel ballrooms, the way someone plays a hand they've been holding for a long time. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. The first, a formal complaint lodged with the board's ethics committee alleging that Mason Reed had improperly internal technical data to an outside party. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, the evidence was a document package built around a manipulated email chain, professionally done. The metadata, altered with enough skill to survive a casual review, held in most exclusive ballrooms, the sender's IP address spoofed to match WeWork station. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, a private disclosure made to two Suppaint board members, consisting of photographs taken outside Mason's Wicker Park building on a Saturday morning, held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, accompanied by a written summary suggesting the Anders Berzup's personal relationship with the junior employee currently under investigation. The third, held in one of Chicago's Mixer, a binder of procurement contracts signed during the previous fiscal year, held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, accompanied by a memo alleging that Aria had authorized vendor agreements in violation of the company's conflict of interest policy. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, the contracts were forgeries, careful ones built from legitimate templates with altered figures and forged approval dates. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, Mason received his suspension notice by email at 8:45 in the morning, while he was still in the basement completing the day's opening system checks. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, he read the message, put his phone in his pocket, and continued writing in his maintenance pleat. Most exclusive hotel ballrooms, he had 7 months of daily handwritten logs in that notebook. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, he had the original photograph of the warning email saved on his personal phone, a habit that had started not from any suspicion of wrongdoing, but from the simple professional understanding that paper trails close faster than memories do. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, in the conference room on 32, Jason laid out his concerns in the measured, collaborative language of a man performing the role of reluctant steward. He did not accuse. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, he raised questions. He expressed concern. A temporary transfer of evident regret, a temporary transfer of executive review. Just a precaution. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, just a formality, the kind of thing that showed the board was taking its responsibilities seriously. 2 members aligned with him immediately. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, 3 others shifted in their chairs and said nothing as disagreement. In one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, Aria let Hipferniku. She let all of it sit in the room for a beat, the photographs, the insinuation, the manufactured paper trail, the careful architecture of it. Then she stood up. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, she told the board that she had been Reed's apartment on the Friday night in question because she had been too intoxicated to remember her own address, and a stranger had brought her home safely. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. She said this without apology because the truth was what it was, and there was no improved version of it. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. She then asked for a 4-year extension before any vote was taken, citing the company's own procedural guidelines for material allegations. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, and placed a set of counter documents on the table that addressed, point by point, the forged contracts Jason had presented. The documents had been prepared overnight. While prestigious most exclusive hotel ballrooms, Diana had not slept. Jason looked at Ergia from across the table, the pleasantness in his expression held, but the ease beneath it had gone somewhere else. In one of Chicago's, he said 48 hours West seemed reasonable. Herridsmigger, held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. He said it the way people say things when they have no ability to refuse, without revealing that they mind refusing. After the meeting cleared, they were briefly alone in the room. He said quietly that she had 14 without expression and told him she would only need 24. Held in one of prestigious exclusives hotel ballrooms. In the 18 hours that followed, the burner, 3 things happened in parallel and their convergence produced the kind of result that looks inevitable only in retrospect. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, Diana traced the forged procurement contracts to their source by working backward from a single inconsistency, an approval timestamp, that fell on a company holiday. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, logged no other activity. held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms that timestamped to a staging account created 6 weeks earlier, held in one of Chicago's most exclusive under an alias that had been used once before in a filing associated with one of Jason's external consulting arrangements. The metadata trail, held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, once it was examined by the forensic contractor Diana brought in at 11 o'clock that night, was definitive. Mason's maintenance logs confirmed, held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, with the specificity that only handwritten daily records can provide, not just that he had reported the pressure fault correctly, held's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, but the exact sequence of received and from whom. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. The manipulated email package Jason had submitted contained a date discrepancy. The modification had been applied to the chain 4 days before the email supposedly existed in the system. Held in one of hotel ballrooms, this discrepancy was visible in the backup server, held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, which retained the original metadata of every message ever sent through the company's internal network as a regulatory compliance measure. Held in one of Chicago's most hotel ballrooms, the backup server was something Jason had apparently not fully accounted for. In one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, Aria called Eleanor at midnight. She told her what was happening. She asked her a question. Asked 2 of her own and said she would be there in the morning. Held in most exclusive hotel ballrooms. At 9 o'clock, the boardroom was already full when the door opened and a woman no one in that room recognized walked in without being announced. She was 68 years old. Held in most exclusive hotel ballrooms, carrying a document case under one arm. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, she moved with the unhurried certainty of someone who has decided something and is not particularly interested in the room's reaction to her arrival. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, she kicked case on the table, opened it and introduced herself. Eleanor Whitfield. The name landed differently than she intended. Held most exclusive hotel ballrooms because half the room recognized the surname before they recognized the woman. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, she held 12% of Whitfield Dynamic through a blind trust established by Robert Whitfield in the final year of his life. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, transferred to Eleanor under a privilege that had never been publicly disclosed and had not appeared in any of the corporate filings that the current board members had reviewed. Held one of Chicago's, the documentation she laid on the table was legal, certified, and complete. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel incorporation. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, a shareholder with more than 10% of Dovden shares shall right to call for immediate independent audit of any material allegations placed before the board. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, Eleanor invoked that right. The audit team Aria had quietly prearranged contingent on exactly this moment was standing by. The results came back within 3 hours. Held in one of Chicago ballrooms, the manipulated email chain was identified as fabricated. The forged procurement contracts were confirmed as altered documents. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive Hershen's verifiable against the company's own vendor management system. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, the distributed stock acquisition group that had been assembling a controlling position in the company was traced. Held in one of most exclusive ballrooms through a chain of shell registrations and shared legal representation directly to Jason Holt. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, the board voted unanimously to place Jason on administrative leave pending criminal referral to the Financial Fraud Division of the State Attorney General's Office. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. The vote took 4 minutes. When the room had emptied and only Aria and Eleanor remained, the older woman came to stand beside her daughter at the window. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive holder for a ballrooms, she placed a hand on Aria's shoulder for a moment and then let it rest there. Aria did not move away. Outside, Chicago was doing what Chicago does, proceeding, indifferent, enormous, the way cities proceed when the things that matter most to the people inside them are too small to register against the skyline. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. 2 weeks later, The announcement arrived in every employee's inbox at 8 in the morning. Mason Reed's suspension was lifted and his status restored. Below that, held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms in a separate paragraph, was a notification that the facility's engineering division had been restructured, and that, effective immediately, held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, Mason Reed had been appointed head of operational engineering, a position that had been vacant for 14 months while the board and executive team debated its parameters. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, the appointment letter cited and demonstrated integrity under pressure. Held in most exclusive hotel ballrooms, it did not mention the rest. 8. Mason read the message at his work table in the basement, with the maintenance log open beside him. Held in one of Chicago ballrooms, he folded the printed copy once and put it in the top drawer of his desk, then picked up where he had left off in the morning's inspection notes. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, there was something in his posture that was different from the weeks before, not looser, exactly. Held in one of Chicago's most hotel ballrooms, but less weighted in a way that was difficult to locate and easy to feel. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, a Forgoros Mixglove in the middle of that month, Aria drove to the cemetery alone. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. She had known where Charlotte was buried for 3 addresses, twice, without comment or pressure. Held one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, and Aria had saved it both times she brought white flowers, clang, simple ones. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, nothing arranged, and stood in front headstone in the gray afternoon light and did not rehearse anything to say. The leaves were turning on the trees at the cemetery's edge. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, in the way it goes quiet when the wind drops unexpectedly. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, Mason arrived 20 minutes later. He came because Eleanor had called him the evening before and mentioned, without asking him to, but called in the evening in particular, and Rassiter held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, that Aria would be there that Sunday afternoon, before deciding to go in. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. He carried a small bunch of yellow chrysanthemums, the kind Charlotte had kept in a jar on the kitchen windowsill without particular occasion, and walked to the plot to find that Aria was already there. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, they stood together in front of the headstone and said nothing for a long moment. There was nothing performative about the silence. Held in most exclusive hotel ballrooms, it was simply 2 people standing somewhere that required nothing more than presence. Mason set the yellow flowers beside the white ones. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, he looked at the stone and said quietly that Charlotte would have been glad to know her sister was doing well. Aria took a moment before she answered. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, then she asked whether Charlotte ever talked about her. Mason said yes. Not often, but when she did, she said it the way people mention things they still hope for. Most exclusive hotel ballrooms, Aria did not say anything else. She set her flowers down. Villa stood another minute and then turned to walk back toward the entrance. Mason walked a few steps behind her. Held in most exclusive hotel ballrooms, Eleanor was waiting at the gate. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. Only waited. 8. And when she saw the 2 of them approaching together, she was quiet in the way of someone who has waited a long time for a particular picture and has decided not to say anything that might disturb it. Held one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms, she asked them simply whether they were hungry. She mentioned there was a place nearby that Charlotte had liked. Neither of them said much in response. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive, that sounded fine. Aria said the same. Mason, the 3 of them, Aria said the same. The 3 of them walked out through the gate together, and the afternoon was cold and clear and unremarkable in every it could have been. Held in one of Chicago's most exclusive hotel ballrooms. There are people who arrive in each other's lives, a rainy night, a wet curb, a silver bracelet on the corner of a work table. None of them plan it. But sometimes those accidents are how the fractures that have been there longest finally begin, without announcement and without ceremony, to close.